Tonight on BBC One. At 7 o'clock, Tomorrow's World includes a look at the dangers of driving.
Barry, I've commandeered a vehicle.
The old trick, eh? Eat the telly before I get a chance to nick you.
It's a toaster. Dalek, you have been defeated. Surrender. You have failed.
Insufficient data.
Is this world protected? But you're not the first lot to have come here. Oh, there have been so many. And what you've got to ask is, what happened to them? Hello. I'm the Doctor.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. He's indeed the Doctor. Always will be, baby. I love myself a bit of Matt Smith, even though I have been enjoying the new version of the Five Doctors. My set is on the way. It's supposed to be here about a week and a half, right? But I have indeed been enjoying it. I've decided the next time a client pays me, I'm going to buy myself a treat. I'm going to buy myself the fanzine book. That looks freaking awesome, right? That looks absolutely awesome. Anyway, I've been watching the new version of the Five Doctors, and I have some thoughts, right? It's interesting, right? It is indeed interesting, but yeah, we will get to that later today. Actually, we might do a big deep dive into the season 20 box set. If we don't do that, I'm not going to be streaming on Sunday night because it is Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, baby. And we're in this like 10-day rebooting cycle. Actually, it's supposed to be about 30-day rebooting cycle of reality. And yeah, as always, a bit of a subtle reboot. I'm always hoping for something like that movie Dark City. You ever seen Dark City? I don't have it on here. Let me see if I can find a clip from it. Basically, it's this weird noir city here. I'll go to YouTube. Say Dark City. This was from Alex Perez when he was good, which is many moons ago now. It's from 1998. Man, you get the full movie. Oh, wow, who thought? Official trailer. Keith, hey, let's grab that trailer. But anyway, the basic idea of it is that the people who live in the city and they can't get out the city, and they don't realize they can't get out the city. They each night, these weird, funky dudes float around, and they change the circumstance of people's lives. Right? You may like let's say there's a couple of people where they're in a small little apartment, and then they fall asleep, and and while they're sleeping, the apartment like grows, and the table gets much bigger, right? And now they're wealthy, right? It's really weird, right? Pretty darn good movie, but yeah, that's what I always wanted for. And everybody's memory gets rewritten, so nobody notices. But that's what I really wanted for the rebooting of reality. Sadly, I mean, like things are churning. Just like well, here's a trailer. I have no idea, right? Up until I was really convinced that we were on this particular messianic path, right? And there's a lot of reasons why we weren't, but like there's a lot of get out of jail free cards. It wasn't like it's that or the end of reality, but I was really convinced we were on it. So now I don't know what's gonna happen, right? I am just like, I'm gonna tell you, mate. Like there's like anything can happen, and it's all pretty weird. Here, let's look at this trailer. It's awesome. I think at first I kind of like the movie Knowing, even though it's shit. I kind of like it, but that was when he just it fell apart from him. Again, oh yeah, and also Richard O'Brien is one of them, is like the chief villain. So you got these like funky dudes who wear like black, and it's this like 1930s noir city, and they are like the secret police that control the city. And you got one guy, I think it's Richard O'Brien from Rocky Horror, right? Who's like tracking him down. Yeah, he's really good. And like he swallows his memories to understand him, so he's basically understand this guy they're looking for, who I can't remember why they're looking for. Man, it must be a second movie. Oh, William Hurt's in it. He's freaking awesome. Right? He plays this like gumshoe detective. And there's this great bit where he says, "No, don't go," right? And he's chasing him with a gun. And then he just got this moment where he goes, "No one ever listens to me." Oh, I love that bit. I'm digging like the 1990s text machine. Yeah, Keith Sutherland's in it. He's very good in it as well. It's got a nice noir 1930s feel, and Keith Sutherland like really leans into that. Yeah, Jennifer Connelly's in it, and she looks freaking gorgeous. Oh, this is not elegant Snowpiercer Jennifer Connelly. This is soft and squidgy, very voluptuous young Jennifer Connelly. Oh, super hot. Man, this is a shit trailer. And the visuals are good, but you should have let people speak. The performance are excellent. I mean, I guess it's very 1990s. I'm really speechless at how shit this trailer is. I can't do it anymore. Like really? Is that can't be the real trailer? You're shitting me. Should we try this one? Man, that's from Rotten Tomatoes. Let's try the one from Warner Brothers. Don't do that. So that one, we might be luckier with. That trailer was awful. I was trying to be nice to it, and I was like, no, that trailer needs to be kicked in the balls. That was agony. Oh man. Okay, here comes another one. Let's see if this one's any better. And of course, it always opens a window for AliExpress. Look, dude, if I want something from AliExpress, I will buy something from. I'm not opposed to AliExpress, just like not all the time. This is looking more authentic. Oh god, they're starting the same way. If this is the same shit, just one. Okay, fuck. Really? Okay, the move's pretty good if you can see it anyway. That trailer was a piece of shit. Oh, man, that hurt my head. I was thinking earlier, was that prisoner episode with Speed Alert? The General, was it? Let's look it up. The Prisoner Speed Alert. So it is the General. Okay, I got that right. So, wait, if you don't know the prisoner, I should really explain what the prisoner is. Right? I just assume you all know what it is. Okay, fine. I'll just give you a quick potted history of what the prisoner is. It is a intense psychedelic spy show from 1967 They made, I think, 21 episodes or 17 episodes. They had, let's do episode guide. Hang on, it's and the working out the order of the episodes, it's insane, right? There are like people who go to like college, and have to like serious degrees to try and work out the proper running order. Fallout should probably be the last one. Well, you can't. There's 17 episodes, right? They did 17 episodes. And it stars Patrick McGowan, who was in the running for James Bond at one point. He's very, very intense. Like, he's always very angry and intense all the way through it. So it starts off best title. Okay, this I will get. Best titles of all time. 1 second. The prison opening. Titles. Okay, so it starts off most incredible music here. 1 second. No, I don't. Welcome to what? Piss off. I don't know what you're talking about. Hang on. Oh, no. Didn't let me get that one. Or did it? Let's have a look. Fine, yeah, okay, so we'll look at it in a second. So, okay, opens up. It's for some reason there's a thunderclap. And there's this empty road, right? And then Patrick goes in this teeny tiny little sports car, which apparently he built himself. Goes, and he's like zooms in and say, and he's zooming down the road, right? And he goes, it drives in certain line. Yeah, that's basically how the music was. It's pretty dramatic. Fine. He drives into London, right? Drives under, like, what was it? Houses of Parliament, and goes to a spy machine. This is 67. Like, car thing. He puts his, like, ID in and goes, it opens up. He drives in, right? And then next thing you know, he's walking down this corridor, and he is pissed. And then just at the moment he opens these doors, it goes. The music just insane. It goes. Awesome, right? Awesome. And he's in like this little wee guy's office, and he's pacing backwards and forwards, right, screaming his head off. You can't hear him because the and then in a minute, he like slams his fist on the table, right? And he puts a letter saying, resign by hand. And he slams his fist down on the table. And the guy's teacup jumps up, right? Because of the force of his slam. And he goes down and breaks the saucer. It's like, that guy's pissed off, right? And he leaves. And then you see some massive machine getting his ID and putting X's through it. And he drives out. As he's driven home, he's followed by a sinister hearse, right? As he gets to, and so he starts packing angrily when he gets inside. However, the sinister hearse has followed him, and suddenly gas starts flooding through his keyhole, right? And he passes out. Next thing he happens, I'll show you the actual opening, right? Now I'm giving you a good warm up to what it is. But you'll see my description is pretty darn accurate. Why they have the thunderclap? Don't know. Love it. Here you go. Yeah, so that's okay, fine. I'll explain what the prison was. Because this is one episode. Bloody hell. Now I went around the houses there. There's a one episode, I think that was, well, many episodes are pathetic. This one is particularly pathetic. This one called The General, which is where essentially everybody gets controlled by artificial intelligence, sort of. They have the thing called Speedler, which everybody connects to. It sort of mesmerizes them, but like they learn all these different facts for like some school curriculum, right? We see that on a very real level today, like in our everyday life. Like we are, to a great extent, programmed by the information that we get. We're programmed by social media. And I think this is happening on purpose. I think it's done purposely. Like, I think we see that with the Russell Brand cancelling, right? And which I think is an act of desperation, right? Because with people like Russell Brand, even though I really strongly disagree on much of his worldview, right? Because Like, you know, I'm a big Trumpster, for example, and I know he isn't, right? Although I do like a lot of things he says about Trump. Like, you know, the way he describes Trump's ego is like a 3-year-old who writes their name on everything, right? Trump! I'm like, okay, but I find that endearing, right? Personally, I find that endearing. But, like, I just remember, but you can see from this obvious coordinated attack how it was exposed. We'll go to this right away. How it was exposed. It was you saw a little bit on the inside about how the establishment, for want of a better word, is desperately trying to regain control, and you know, allegations of sexual impropriety is about the only thing they have left. I mean, they devalued the word racist completely now, right? It's like, I'm a racist. Yeah, everyone's a racist. I think chicks with dicks, may not be chicks, right? I'm a racist. Okay, right? Everyone's a racist now. So, you know, I don't think everyone is a racist, actually, right? I think you guys are nutballs and full of crap. So, okay, so let's launch this video first, right? Because the way the media gave this bullshit legitimacy, like I had like a back and forth today with my Republican neighbor. I got like my Democrat neighbor, and I got my old school Republican neighbor, right? Which we'll look at this clip in a minute with this wonderful rant where I agree completely. But my point was the fact that anybody in the media can treat the allegations either against Donald Trump or the J6 people, or the January 6th, defendees, or the ones that gone to jail for 20 years for like breaking a barricade, right? Like, yeah, okay, it was like 6 months maximum, right? It's insane. It's insane. Anybody who can treat these things in any way legitimacy without feeling stupid and embarrassed, yeah, there should be, Republicans should have linked arms in lockstep and just relentlessly taken the piss out of this insanity, right? And that they didn't, I think, is indicative that they are, to a great extent, wanting it to be a part of the insanity. And I think the reason is pretty simple. Is because Donald Trump was much better than them. And look, you might hate him. He made mistakes. He totally trusted the wrong people. Hindsight's 2020. I'm willing to give him a pass on pretty much most things. I'll give him a pass on trusting Fauci. I mean, like, why wouldn't you? Who would have thought a doctor, in his like senior medical position, will be a political hack full of shit? I mean, I guess everybody is. Like, that's what we know now. Right, so I wouldn't give him pass on that. I wouldn't give him pass on COVID, quite frankly. Right, I just don't think. I think it was uncharted territory. I think it was, at the same time, he fought off coup after coup after coup, like the impeachment, right? The Ukraine coup impeachment. Okay, he was impeached for asking the Zelensky's predecessor about the video of Joe Biden admitting to getting the prosecutor from the Burisma case fired, right? Just like and withholding US $1 billion loan guarantees to do it, right? That's what they impeached Trump for, which was, and they got you to believe it, right? That's how much we live in this episode of The Prisoner called The General, right? Because there's this bit in it where when anybody asks them about the stuff they learned, they spit out the same thing verbatim, right? And it's very easy to trip them up because you go, he said, the guy said, "What was the Battle of Adrianople?" Right? And so he just spills out the whole thing and says, "Wrong." I said, "Where? Not what?" Right? You were So I thought of this because I have my Republican neighbor, I have my Democrat neighbor, right? Now, my Democrat neighbor, it's very smart, right? It's very, very smart. But I don't think realizes, like they've asked me questions about Trump and my political worldview and things like many times, and I always answer them openly and forthrightly, a bit too openly, probably, right? I opened, like, oh, and then in 1987, I considered fingering my arse for a little bit, like I go into way too much detail, right? But here's the thing, and I don't think most Democrats or people with that worldview can realize this about themselves. They've never, ever, 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 ever been able to answer any question about anything about their worldview. Normally, they just scream incoherently when challenged, right? They just they do anything to shut you up, right? They do not hear the question. But again, my dad never, ever, 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 ever answered any question, right? And I don't think they realize about themselves. And why? It's because, again, they're being programmed, right? Exactly like this show, The Prisoner, the general. Anyway, so part of this programming was when Russell Brand, earlier this week, or was it a week ago, 4 women accused him of, 2 women accused him of rape 20 years later. Again, no evidence whatsoever to back any of this up, from what I understand. There is a criminal investigation been opened into it now, just like there was against Noel Clark. And where do they go? Absolutely nowhere, right? Absolutely bloody nowhere. Fine. So here, this is just a great clip that I think that really demonstrates the malfeasance of the media when we saw what happens next. What happened next was freaking incredible.
They're increasing in their number, and I guarantee to you this.
No, they're not. No, and if they are, I don't care, right? That doesn't matter. Here's the thing: this prick really has to understand: the media has no believability left. You have no credibility left whatsoever. Excuse me. Did you tell me that Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation? Yes, you did. Did you tell me there was nothing suspicious about the 2020 election and Biden clearly won because he got the most votes of anybody of all time, right? And all those weird irregularities didn't happen. Did you spin that bullshit to me? Yeah, you did, didn't you? Did you tell me that the vaccines were going to stop COVID? Did you spin that bullshit to me? Yeah, I think you did, didn't you? Right? Don't you remember that? Don't you remember? Did you spin the bullshit about Russian collusion? About Donald? Yeah, I think you fucking did, didn't you? Why do you think you in the media have any fucking credibility whatsoever? And the truth is you don't. And that's the problem. You have zero credibility. Why? Because you have people like Russell Brand who have developed their own alternative platforms, right? That's why this was designed to nuke that, because they don't want an alternative voice out there. And again, I disagree with him on many things in life, right? Many, many, many things. I've always been impressed with his honesty, right? Well, certainly what appears to be honesty. And to give these allegations any credibility whatsoever, because they have none. Oh, they came from the Guardian, they came from the Times. I couldn't fucking care. They came from Channel 4. Oh, what? Those people who lie about Israel. I still remember the last Israel conflict, right? Where Hamas literally just started firing rockets indiscriminately into Israel, and then the Channel 4 reporter says, "Oh, you Israeli cunts, you totally deserved it." I mean, like, I'm sorry that the Palestinians are much weaker than the Israelis. I'm sorry, it's a massively asymmetrical combat, right? I'm sorry about that, right? If they just wanted to stop trying to kill us, maybe things would work out much better, right? They just start, and again, you cunts at Channel 4 News. I wish I could remember his name. Oh, and I remember him having his ass handed to him before. One second, Channel 4. This is what I can pull up. Channel 4 News anchors. Or news reporters. 14 more. God, there's too many. Is this Channel 4? Or is this? Yeah, let's do UK Channel 4 News. Okay, fine. Can we get pictures of these people? I saw Kathy Newman. She was the one that Jordan Peterson eviscerated, like absolutely eviscerated. God, I just look at all these people on Channel 4 News and go, how much I hate all of them. They're all awful, right? They are all absolutely awful people. But I can't find the one that I'm. Where is it? I don't know. I just remember Kathy being absolutely eviscerated by Jordan Peterson. Oh, lovely. Now, let's try it. Channel 4 Israel reporter. Let's see if that comes up. No. Anyway, yeah, look, here's the thing, arsehole. The media, you have no credibility left, right? You've lied to us and lied to us and lied to us and lied to us relentlessly about, and how's it worked out? Here's the thing. You've lied to us because you thought we were too fucking stupid, right? And what we wanted was just silly and wouldn't work. Well, what's happened now? You arseholes are in complete control, that you put your boot on the neck of anybody who opposed you, right? And you seize control of every institution. What's that like now, right? Are things any better? No, we're one step away from World War III and poverty, right? The worst economy of all time. You fucking moron losers. I am sorry Donald Trump was so much better than you. And that's really your problem, right? And he was better than you, right? But saying you're better than politicians and journalists, not that impressive, frankly. Anyway, so this little cockwomble giving credibility to and acting like they are etched in stone. They're the 10 fucking commandments, right? This your unshakable confidence that you're projecting is with your immense failure that you're ignoring is insane, and we all see through you now.
Well, the allegations, they're increasing in their number, and I guarantee to you this is going to be a huge investigation, a huge story, and
then it'll come out, nothing happened, and you'll have forgotten, and you'll have destroyed his life.
Astonished that you leapt to his defence
before you can have
any
read
of
his content in the last 3 years. You have no idea who he is now. You have no idea what he represents.
Had you watched?
I mean, look, do you notice him not answering a question? Like, he has no clue about his content for the last 3 years. And that's true, right? Its content is... why don't you play the clip from Bill Maher? No, you're worried your overlords at Pfizer might... be upset with you.
To the Dispatches show.
They just want a one-sided conversation.
Billion people.
Had you watched the Dispatches show when you put that tweet out on Saturday morning?
No, but that doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
There was nothing.
That was such a gotcha piece of fuck. I mean, like, really? Again, have you answered her question?
I hadn't even seen the Dispatches programme when you put out he is a hero.
Yeah, look. Absolutely ignoring everything you're saying. You are a cunt. Whoever this guy, you are a cunt.
You hadn't even seen the Dispatches programme.
He would not have gained the popularity.
As a woman, no.
Okay, yeah, here's the thing. Because people like you and let's go back to whoever this is. Because people like you bandy around accusations politically, right? You use these accusations politically to silence your rivals. You hurt women. You hurt women and victims of sexual assault. Just like you've devalued all calls of racism, right? And who's really benefited from that? Racists and politicians. But is there any difference between the two? Look at this.
As a woman, knowing that how difficult it is in this country. If
all of the mainstream media hadn't been singing for one non-scientific...
No, you're missing the point because you're not listening to a fucking word. You're not listening to a fucking word because you're fucking terrified. You're fucking terrified because you know your paycheck's about to dry up, right? That's the trouble. Russell Brand actually represents a meritocracy, saying that you could not survive it.
him
and
sheet
all you've done is
for the last
attack
3
these
years,
women. Shame on you.
Then all these people, all these newspapers that gave one side of the pandemic, he was the lone
it's now about
voice.
COVID.
No, it's not about COVID. It's about you don't have any credibility, right? I am sorry that you have burnt your entire credibility away with your relentless lying. Like, try telling the truth sometimes, right? Try not twisting something to your political fucking agenda. Just sometimes. Just sometimes.
COVID again. Beverly Turner's other big hobby horse. She can't get through an hour without...
Oh, you mean because it proves you wrong, you dumb cunt? Yeah, exactly. It's like saying, oh, Hillary Clinton's email, still that. Is she in jail, yeah? I'm sorry, what happened with that? Still. Oh, you're still going on. Well, I'm still right, if that's what you mean. 2 + 2 still equals 4. Oh, still. You're still stuck on 2 + 2 still equaling 4. Yeah, because it's still fucking true, you cockwomble piece of shit.
Going on about COVID. This is not about COVID. This is about serious allegations about a public figure.
It's not about serious. That's the problem. The allegations aren't serious, right? That is the problem. The allegations are not serious in the slightest. And again, who does this hurt? This hurts women. This hurts women and victims of sexual assault. And you're happy about that. Because, again, I don't know if you're just a moron going along with the, the group thing. Happy to herd people along like that. Who's that guy from Hunger Games, right? The television presenter there, like desperate people, like Howard Stern. Oh God, what a pathetic piece of shit he is. And again, terrified of alternative narrative.
Who has been accused by 4 women of 2 of rape, 1 of grooming a 6.
Okay, there's no allegation. There's no allegation there whatsoever, right? That and they spent 4 years combing through Russell Brand's past, and this is the best you can get. 2 unsubstantiated claims of rape and a 6-year-old that he dated when he was 30, and they did it publicly in the fucking newspapers. You cockwomble piece of shit cunt.
And you're banging on about COVID.
He talks about the things.
Yeah, because COVID proves you're a cunt.
Obsessed. You're obsessed.
We're obsessed with you being wrong. Right, so that's the point. You have no credibility. And then, sometimes things work out. That's where quite well, right? Just a few days later, and so the idea was floated. This is a coordinated attack with the intent of silencing Russell Brand. No, of course not. Says cockwomble cunts like that. Of course not. Turns out that's exactly what it was. UK Parliament sends letters to social media platforms demanding demonetization of Russell Brand. Excuse me? For what? For what? What, you don't like his speech? Right? Yeah, 1 second. Now I just got a 1 second. Goodbye. I got it. Fine, now I just got to send a WhatsApp. Oh, my life's living hell. Living hell, that's what I tell you, mate. By the way, I have good news in terms of my life being living hell. But 1 second. Oh, here we go. Please confirm that. I spelled. Oh, look at it. I spelled basically every word wrong there. Right. Oh, job done. Yeah. So wait a minute. We have 2 people accusing him of rape with no evidence to back him up whatsoever at 15 to 20 years ago, and you say in the British government he isn't allowed to live anymore. He's not allowed a living. He's not allowed. No, it's just because you don't like what he was saying. Frankly, and look, Rishi Syndic, you look like a cunt to me. I'm sorry. You look like a little snuffle cunt who probably is making money out of Pfizer for ripping off the British public, right? That strikes me as being very, very likely, right? Doesn't that strike you as being very, very likely? Yes, indeed. Oh, 1 second. Now I'm getting another thing. 1 second. It's the trailer for Doctor Who out? Okay, fine. Okay, so fine. No, it's not. So yeah, oh, I forgot. Yeah, anyway. So right, no, I completely lost my train of thought. So for some reason, the British government now wants him to be impoverished and shut up. Right? If they could throw him in jail, they would. We are watching our speech be criminalized before our bloody eyes, right? And that's exactly what we're watching. So here, let's look at actually what happened, right? UK Parliament. So, UK government aims to cancel Russell Brand. The British government sent a letter to TikTok and Rumble asking if Brand is able to make a profit on their platform. This implies they're directly targeting Brand to deplatform. This is Dr. Theo Bertram, the director of Government Relations Europe and TikTok. Oh no, that's who it's to. While we recognize that TikTok Russell Brand is obviously guilty. I mean, not just obviously. I mean, that's what I was saying. It's obviously completely guilty, and I wouldn't trust a word he has to say. You're right. That's all right. Obviously. I lost the first two as the chat. Now I've got to go. Did I get everything? I don't know. That's annoying. So yes, those government spooks. What can I tell you? Where was that? Share screen. I was in mid rant, right? I was mid rant. Oh man. Here we go. Creator of the content published by Mr. Brad. His content may be within community guidelines set out by the platforms. We are concerned he may be able to make a profit from his content on the platform. Why are you concerned about that? What's that to do with you? Weird government shill, right? Like, what's that got to do with you? So here, Rumble shows. Is this one? Yeah, Rumble shows why they're a great platform, right? They're great for me. Rumble is truly great, great for me. They, I'm getting much more genuine, organic, nice growth on Rumble. Please subscribe me over there. But this is why we need Rumble, right? And I know they're not big in the UK. Maybe this is the reason why. So Rumble, who also got this letter, they replied, I'm writing concerning the serious allegations regarding Russell Brand in context of being a content provider for Rumble with more than 1.4 million followers. The Culture, Media and Sports Committee is raising questions with broadcasters and production companies who previously employed Russell Brand to examine both the culture of the industry in the past and whether the culture prevails today. Okay. However, I have no idea what's right. We are looking for. We're also looking at his use of social media, including Rumble, where he's issued a preemptive response to accusations made against him by the Sunday Times and Channel 4's dispatches. While we recognize that Rumble is not the creator of the content, but fine. So this is the letter they sent, right? So fine. This is what Rumble responded. So they received an extremely disturbing letter from a committee chair in the UK Parliament. While Rumble obviously deplores sexual assaults, rape, and all serious crimes, and believes both the alleged victims and the accused are entitled to full and serious investigation. It's, by the way, do any of these people mind Bill Clinton being on anything? Should he be expunged from everything? And I guess Hillary as well, right? Should she? Is that a good idea? Or is it only Russell Brand? Bill Clinton, he has many allegations of rape against him. Very, very credible. Far more credible than the ones against Russell Brand. Oh, that's okay. Bill Clinton's okay, right? What about Joe Biden? Yeah, both him and Clinton did all go to pedophile island quite a lot, didn't they? They were good friends with Jeffrey Epstein. By the way, that client list. Can we see the client list? They're coming to get me, baby. They're coming to get me. Who knows? Oh, no, it's coming back in. Exactly. It's like they're so full of such intense shit. Just yesterday, YouTube announced that based solely on these media accusations, it was barring Mr. Brand from monetizing his video content. Rumble stands for the very different values. And that's why we need Rumble, right? This is why we need Rumble. We have devoted ourselves to the vital cause of defending free speech, free internet, meaning an internet where no arbitrary dictates which ideas can or cannot be heard. Honestly, by 2030, if they get their way, they will have complete control. They will just outlaw it as hate speech, right? It's coming, baby. It's totally coming. We regard it as deeply inappropriate and dangerous that the UK's Parliament would attempt to control who is allowed to speak on our platform or earn a living from doing so. By the way, is that cunt who was going on earlier? Has he issued a mea culpa, an apology? Said, well, this might be. Does he stand by this? Right? Tell me more. Right? Tell me more. We refuse to penalize them for actions that have nothing to do with that platform, right? These are allegations, absolutely. Although it may be politically and socially easier for them to join the cancel culture mob, doing so would be a violation of the company's values and mission. Yes, and this is why they built out their own infrastructure, right? They got their own server farms, right? And that's really why we need them. We emphatically reject the UK Parliament's demands. And again, allegations of sexual assault is just that, allegations of sexual assault. And they're coming thick and fast now. Where is this? Tim Ballard. Really? Oh, the deeply Christian man who did everything he could to save children from pedophiles. Father of 8. I don't believe you, right? I don't believe you. Rudy Giuliani as well, I believe. He's been accused of groping someone when a book's about to come out. It's bullshit, baby. There's so much bullshit. Speaking of the bullshit, I mean, look at this. A.G. Garland claims he doesn't know whether there were any government informants amongst the January 6th crowd. Oh, I know. We all know. I mean, like, man, do they lie and do they squirm? Who nailed him today? It was Jim Jordan, right? Jim Jordan. He said, yeah, you testified in March, whatever. You weren't impeding the investigation whatsoever. But we know on this date against Hunter Biden, we know on this date he wanted to, indict, and he wasn't allowed to. He said, "Oh yeah, look, people don't have to cooperate with him." Yeah, well they do if you tell them to. They're all full of such shit, right? They're all full of such shit all the time. Oh man, we're late. We got to get to the chat. We have got to get to the chat. I haven't even talked about 5 doctors yet. Yeah, 1 second. Doink. And we got all the cryptic clue bullshit. Oh, so much rather talk about the 5 doctors. Fine. An hour in, sorting out. Let me get to the chat. I do not know who this cosplayer is, but she's very hot, right? A very spankable Twilight. Yeah, so Rusty Davies. Oh, how glorious. All you need to do is find all the micro trailers, arrange them in the right order, decode the Unicode hidden messages, rearrange the letters, and then you find out Doctor Who is coming back in November. That's how I feel about all this fucking marketing so far, right? It's useless. Oh my God, it's telling me that it's like I got to work hard for it to tell me fucking nothing. Fuck off. Right, give me a trailer or something. Let's see Shooty in action. Why not just release a scene of Shooty? All right? I don't understand. Somebody said in the comments because the BBC are not confident, right? Speaking of not confident, so Star Wars porn parodies now have more integrity than actual Star Wars. They really do, right? I mean, like the costumes all seem so much better and more authentic to Star Wars. I mean, other than the copious amounts of fucking, right? Other than that, right? Other than that, it seems much more Star Warsy. And we got Grand Admiral Thrawn from Ahsoka. Oh, fuck me, so boring. That episode was so boring. And it's like this whole thing of she finds Bridger at last, right? And I have no idea what's going on, where they are, who Bridger is, and I don't give a fuck. Right, they are just the most biggest morons, these people. Anyway, people who are not biggest morons are tuning into this channel right here. I guess we're done with the Brussels brand conspiracy theory. Confirmed! Yes, it was. Fine. Look, says, howdy, how you doing? So that's the earliest I can go back to, I'm afraid. 8 minutes past. So if you're before then, I can't get to you, I'm afraid. Matthew Burrows is here. And Jennifer got a little hot, and she still is, but she's a different hot, right? I'm the director's cut on DVD, says Matthew. Remember about Dark City? Rubbish Train, a good film. Yes, Paul Tozer's here, Jonathan Cox, Mr. Jekyll and Hyde is here. How are you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. Who else we got here? Whizzing through now. Is anybody talk to me? Maybe the inbreeding just happens with a lot of tourists. Well, that could be. That could be. I don't know. It seems that the LA rats are reasonably inbred as well. Oh, it started today. Thank you for joining us. Just just all politicians are so awful. That's really a basic reality. They are all so intently awful. I hate they think he's defending women. Exact. Fuck off. He doesn't. He's just saying he is. Robin Payne is here. How you doing, Robin Payne? Thank you for joining us. That fellow was Andrew Pierce. Well, he was a cunt. If I may say so. Yeah, okay. So how long was it out for? 42 I froze. The ice cream is good frozen. Ice cream is good frozen. So Sussy Ransack. Doom got Rabbi again. Said Bobby D75. Wait a minute, I just realized D75, that's the name of the Klingon cruiser, right? Oh, there you go. Just worked out. Yeah, it's very frozen. What can I tell you? Soul's My Check is here, doing Soul's My Check. Thank you for doing it. Mark the Vicar, if George Orwell were alive today, he'd be spinning in his grave. That's a pretty good point. I'm going to use that quote quite heavily. If George Orwell was alive today, he would be screaming in his grave. Also, he's friend over to Rumble, create an account, and please sub the Rabbi channel, says Darren. I cannot disagree with you. That would be very good for me, right? That would be very good. Let me have a quick look at Rumble. See, it's there. Paul to Sealand 75 says frozen as well. Yes, we are frozen. We are frozen everywhere. But it's good to be unfrozen. There you go. I think we're back again. What are we up to? Mark the Vicar says it proves the West is controlled by some people who are not interested in the Epstein flight list. Exactly. And client list. And I think he had a gazillion hours of tape of Joe Biden fucking kids, allegedly. I wouldn't be surprised. You got Hunter Biden, who clearly seems to have experienced some abuse when he was younger because he's so intensely messed up, right? And also, Ashley Biden wrote in a diary, like one step away from saying, "Oh yeah, my dad fucked me." Like he showered with her, and she blames her father for a sex addiction. None of this is good. And yeah, this is so Biden-esque, by the way, right? It's so incredibly Biden-esque that she was in a rehab house, Ashley Biden, and she left a diary there because all her kids are like crackhead, losers recovering from some kind of abuse. And the FBI came and arrested the woman who had the diary, who found it, right? I mean, like, it's not even like vaguely like it's reasonable anymore, right? It's not even vaguely like that. Colin Archer is here. How you doing, Colin Archer? Thank you for joining us. Sexual assault is the new racism. Yeah, and soon it'll be worth as much as racism is. Like, again, charges of racism are completely ineffective right now, right? Against real racism. Colin Archer says, Elon Thrawn. Yes, he's very much Elon Musk, isn't he? I think the Disparu who inserts clips of Ezra Miller whenever Ezra Miller mentioned in his reviews. I have no idea who Ezra Miller is, right? I really don't. I have no idea what planet they're on or how they got there or why they can't just go back on their own, right? I know nothing, and it's just I'm not interested to learn. I meant the guy pissed that a woman is defending Russell. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, okay. Well, I think I can say the right guy. Who knows or dare stream. Anyway. Shall we start? Where should we start? Second. Let me just clean up. I'll close that. We could do that. I'm not going to do that right now. Maybe do that on Saturday. Oh, yeah. So anyway, I will not be on Sunday night. I will be on Saturday night because I believe there's going to be a trailer then anyway. So I thought that would be a good night to, go live. And then Sunday night is Yom Kippur, so I'll be up there. By the way, a miracle, like literally a miracle. Here, let me get the picture up. Doink. So So Ninja, as you recall, Ninja, the cat, got like kidneys started to fail. Okay, the cat got a nosebleed, and we're like, well, what's up with that? That's a bit weird. And the cat seemed a bit like lethargic, and I didn't call my daughter straight away because she was out with friends. I thought, yeah, it's not urgent. And the next day, I told her about it, and she made an appointment, took her to the vet. So apparently, it was some kind of, I can't even remember, some kind of like autoimmune collapse, right, Ninja? And it was dying. I thought he didn't have a chance at all. So the vet did a transfusion of blood from her dog, which I thought a bit kinky, but okay. And it worked, but not enough. And then he had a second transfusion. And apparently he's on the mend. Here, Ninja, say hello. Say hello to everyone. Ninja is the blind cat. And you see he's been through the walls. Poor little thing. Teeny tiny little thing. But he's putting weight on again now. Looks like he's going to pull through. Right? They say you think he's going to pull through. His numbers going up. So there you go, Ninja. I think you used up at least 2 of your 9 lives so far. But good for you. Okay, I'm glad Ninja survived. Bye. So that's actually reasonably good news. Let's start over here. Let me start with that. Let's start with this. Let's start with this. Right? Why am I not in any way excited about the new era of Doctor Who? Well, Exhibit A, right? Even worse than Doom, right? Even worse than Doom. And look, I want to draw your attention to this. Why is LGBTQ in the same tags as Doctor Who? Like, I am sick of Doctor Who being used as a LGBTQIA platform, right? It's Doctor Who, right? I don't know if Jago and Lightfoot were giving each other hand jobs, right? I don't know if they're figuring each other's asses. Maybe, right? Maybe. Who would be the top? I'm gonna say a bit controversially. I'm gonna say I think it will be Lightfoot would be the top. You would think Jago, right? No, I think Jago's a bit of a sub, right? All things, he's because he's very boisterous. But I can imagine Lightfoot. Yeah, Lightfoot's the top. But okay, but the point is this: Doctor Who was fine without knowing, without talking about sex fucking constantly. It was fine, right? So the first thing they redacted, I listened to the first couple of episodes before I got a community strike for reviewing it, so I'm certainly not going to review it. But the episodes I saw were awful. I heard were awful, right? I was not interested in the slightest, and I don't think it put trans people in a good light at all, right? Because the main characters are all trans, just a bunch of normal trans people, a bunch of normal chicks with normal dicks, all hanging out, being normal, having a Doctor Who podcast with normal chicks with normal dicks, so normal, and they're cool and they're hip and they're trans and they're chicks and they're dicks, right? And the fact is they're all terrible narcissists, right? They're like, oh, my mom was so terrible about me, about my transition. Well, maybe she didn't want to see you, cut your dick, cock and balls off, right? Maybe she thought, just like we have for the last 1,000 years in society, thought that sex isn't mutable. Maybe she thinks that. No, my mum's the worst, right? So I don't think it put trans people in good light. So weirdos at Bleeding Cool are very excited that Redacted is getting a second season. It's beyond me, right? And it's beyond me, the insanity. Maybe I can link up with a hive mind, right? I can link up. We can do contact, bit of that, going on. But which mind? You see, if I hook up with the wrong mind, everything could go sideways, right? I might hook up with a Jodie fan and blow their minds because I just say things that are true, like Jodie was shit. They're like, there is no data. It was from the Remembrance of the Daleks, right? The black Dalek at the end. There is a data. Right? That's exactly that was the first J-Bot to meltdown, right? So picking the right person is important. May I say, I have pucked. I have picked well. I pucked well as well. But you know, a boy doesn't kiss and tell. I picked well because I got royalty. Royalty, I say, about to come on the channel. When I say come on the channel, I mean in one or two warm jisms of pleasure. It is, of course, Birmingham's own king of the geeks, Dan Hadley. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, another great, unbeatable intro, mate. Yeah, I'm good. I've been thinking what you're just saying about the old J-bots. I always visioned them very much as Michael Ironside in Scanners, so their head would just sort of...
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. So, okay, there was two things I was thinking of going over, right? I was going to go over all these cryptic pieces of shit clues, and I'm just... Right, hey, did you see my thumbnail for tonight?
I saw one. Is this the one that's got Russell T Davies on?
Right. So this is how I genuinely feel, right? It's like, all you need to do is watch all my piece of shit micro trailers and put them together in the right order and decode the Unicode, turn it inside out, then rearrange the letters, and then you can find out Doctor Who's coming back in November. None of them are telling me fucking anything. I don't give a shit. If you want to tell me something, just tell me fucking something. Oh, shut up.
Do you think this is social media managers, people who run those kinds of accounts, and marketing people who are kind of inserting extra levels of, in effect, bureaucracy into what they actually do? Because all we really want to know,
get from this new era, top to bottom, too much bureaucracy.
All we really need to know is when the effing thing is on. That's all most people are interested in.
Listen, I honestly, there's a lot they could have done to get us excited. We could have seen this new fate. I mean, unless they're saving the reveal of the new TARDIS for this show, fine. But there's a lot they could show us, right? They could have. Firstly, I was talking about this because you know what? I was responding to your show from Saturday. I think it was Saturday. When or maybe it was Monday.
We're on Monday, yeah.
You're right. So Saturday was Jewish New Year. So no, it was Monday. So they could have been putting together incredible, great nostalgia trailers, one for each Doctor, even right, to like start introducing the world to the Doctor, right? You know, the idea of what this thing is, what this rich history is that you can start looking into, right? And remind us why we love Doctor Who. There's a lot they could have done, right? Or you know,
it is so simple to look at the cornerstones of the series and that brand: Doctors, Companions, Monsters, and Moments. It's so simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's and they haven't done any of it, right?
No,
I think there's too many levels of bureaucracy. Like for everything, they got to go through a million bloody levels. They got to go Disney, BBC, Bad World, Sony, and I think there's content officers from on every level, and I just don't think it. I think it's just gumming up the works, frankly.
I imagine that one of the questions that they ask one another when they're sat around these oval tables, or more likely over Zoom calls now, having said that, because most BBC management are still working from fucking home. Can you believe that? 3 years after the pandemic. Anyway, so what I can imagine them saying is, wouldn't it be cool if... Well, yeah, it would be cool if you created an Instagram message feed that could go to everybody interested in the Doctor Who brand and send them cryptic messages. But would it be productive? No, it's just going to wind people up.
That's what I'm just like, I've had enough. I've had so I've started going through the season 20 box set, right? So here we can talk about the season 20 box set, or we can talk about the new marketing, right? Which I like.
We'll talk about this. Tell me about the season 20 box set then, because I'm covering some of that new marketing later on at 8 o'clock. So
oh god, it's just so irritating. I'm like, oh look, there's a cloud. It could be fuck off. Just fuck off. Okay.
I understand. I understand something is happening right now on Instagram as well. And I think a few years ago I'd have rushed there and I'd have been trying to work out exactly what it was. But now I just think I'll just let the
more bullshit. I mean, more relentless bullshit.
But in all truth, mate, I think that what you're recognizing there is a parallel. It's almost like two franchises, or maybe even three within one now. And I've said this for a little while. I remember when Doctor Who came back, there was very firmly that kind of, there was the classic show and there was the new show, there was old Who and new Who, and it was denoted like that for a number of years. And everybody was, and it came together under one brand slowly, quite organically, and it took, as younger fans followed their curiosity, followed their nose, like the Bisto kids back through, picking up old DVDs and talking to relatives who remember the old show. And so the gap closed to, eventually there wasn't a gap there anymore, and it was all one glorious thing. And then Chris Chibnall effectively blew that wide open again and increased the separation between the two. So now we have very firmly that gap between the Chibnall Who, or not Who, as I like to call it, new Doctor Who and the classic Doctor Who. So people reaffirmed their original positions from 2005, 2006.
I guess. Well, I mean, that was more of a. I think it was Mao Young, right? Who insisted on the breaking the franchise into two.
Yeah, he was very reluctant to have anything going out that wasn't connected, that wasn't obviously associated with the current version of the show. And maybe with hindsight, maybe he was right.
I disagree. It's interesting. I can understand why you would think that, but Chris Chibnall tried that, right? He forbade the use of the old logo, right? You have to be the current logo, and it just made merchandise harder to sell, frankly.
Absolutely.
Right? It's by the way, this is the thing that's going on Instagram, which I think illustrates our point completely. Look at this. I'm doing shit. I'm like, fuck off. Okay, I'll keep out. Leave me alone. I don't keep this shit.
It does. You're not curious, mate, as to what's behind that door? Maybe it could be a soft...
No, not in the least.
Okay, Nicola Bryant on a sun lounger, right, in just a thong.
Well, maybe. Definitely 5 Nicola Bryant. Absolutely, almost certainly. Okay, 1 second. 1985 Nicola Bryant and 1995 Nicola Bryant. Okay, those two, that combo, that's where to go. But like, that's not in there. You know what's in there? A set. Nothing that anybody gives a shit about. Yes. Like what was the thing the other day? Oh yeah, I've still got it here. 1 second, let me pull it up. Like, this was the first one of the Who Spy thing. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. It's a set. Okay. Firstly, this looks like that aerial shot of some kind of like helicarrier, a graphic representation.
That's right. Yes, we've seen pictures of that aerial pictures.
This is a big gun. Okay, it's a fucking set, and the people are plutzing about the Tuesday to Thursday 9:30 a.m. Fuck off. Just stop. What is it going to do? A great event.
I have considered, are we simply too old to be moved by any of this?
No, it's shit. It's shit. Okay, that's what's going on. This is boring shit that nobody cares about. Oh,
do you think that this is? Do you think this comes from Russell, or do you think it's more likely to be the brand management advise the creatives and say, look, we can do this, we can do that, and they just say, just take care of it, just do whatever you feel. You've got this X amount, you've got this budget to spend on it, and that's that. Or do you think it's under Russell's creative remit?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
I have no idea what to expect from this new era. I really genuinely don't, right?
I noticed that they're inserting even more. I mean, back in 2004, you're right, the Mal Young sat very firmly at the top of that tree. And although I think he left the role before Doctor Who actually premiered, he was still there. And directly under him and I think it was 3-pronged. You'd got Julie, and you'd got Phil Collinson, and you'd got Russell. And although they had different roles, they were all 3 executive producers, and they were all kind of in tune. And then there was script editors underneath and production managers. Now at Bad Wolf, you've got they hired a new manager about a week and a half ago, a new producer for it.
And the last one I saw was actually very, very positive. He was the production designer on the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie.
Oh yeah,
and I really liked his resume. Right, I thought he to have an effects heavy thing, yeah, it's good. I liked his resume.
I'm not even suggesting they're hiring bad people. I'm just noticing they're hiring a lot of people to do the same job.
I guess, yeah. No, I think there's too many levels of management. There's not enough room for spontaneity. Like I was talking about The Prisoner earlier, about how a rover was like basically a last minute idea to have a weather balloon replace this robot that didn't work.
Yes.
Right? And because there was enough creative freedom and movement, they could do it, and it worked.
Yeah.
I just feel that everything is gummed up with too many levels of management, right? I mean, that's really the vibe I'm getting. I think also those levels of management are currently imploding from within. Disney's dying, right? Disney is in its death throes.
Do you think?
Also,
do you think that when I look back again to 2004, 2005, this is like a stock record. For us as Doctor Who fans, the stakes were pretty much as high as they could ever get. If it hadn't have worked then, Doctor Who would not have come back.
Yeah, especially with the Paul McGann movie failing, which was excellent, and it did very well in England. It got 9 million viewers. Right.
But for the BBC, even though there was a co-producer for the BBC, they put a fair amount of money into it, but no more than they had into certain shows before.
Well, it looked great, and I think it connected very well with the audience. I think people would have liked to see more.
But
they
now
they want to do these Inspector Morse thing with about four to six movies a year.
Now I feel that, but you see, back then I feel that they wanted something cool and pretty slick that would kick off Saturday nights, that would blend nostalgia with a bit of something of the zeitgeist at the time. Now, I think the shopping list is 5 times as long, and we now we don't just have the BBC, we don't just have Bad Wolf. Now we have Sony and Disney as well, and I do wonder, just as you've said, there are so many things that all parties are going to want from this that the viewers are ranking probably last.
Right, and listen, honestly, look, all the gay stuff that we've been going, that just may be idiot brand managers. I mean, look, this was the last thing they put out. I don't give a fuck. Okay, fine, it's a cross-dressing man. Okay, I believe he identifies as a man or a woman. I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. I hope the Jinx had a happy birthday, and that's why they released that new picture. But why should I care?
Don't call this a new picture, for fuck's sake! It's a vaguely different take on something I've seen 4 or 5 times already.
An unseen image, then. But in truth,
I wish I could unsee it.
Jinx Monsoon is not a series regular. She's not Maureen O'Brien or Freema Agyeman. We don't know this person. And for all we know, they're going to be in 1 at a push 2 episodes of a season we haven't even seen yet. So with the best will in the world, why should we care when his birthday is? Like I say, I hope they had a good one, but generally speaking, I don't give a toss. I don't know when my postman's birthday is. I see him every frigging day.
Yeah, leave me alone. But again, it's a combination of gay shit and boring shit. This isn't mysterious. This is boring. I don't care. I don't care. All right, that's the bottom line. It's not mysterious. It's boring. Right. Slightly more interesting is this. They just released the cover artwork for Underwater Menace.
Yeah.
Is this the same crew that did the good ones? I can't tell until I see it in black and white, frankly.
I can't either. I think this is a nice enough cover. I know this is broken in the last hour or two, so I won't be talking about this later on. But I think this is quite a nice cover, and that's quite a nice steel book. I don't know. I think they're doing a decent job with these, decent enough job. But I still find myself thinking that there could be more. This should be more. Maybe that's unreasonable for archive television.
Look, here's the thing. We got Matthew Pounder saying the animation looks awful, and Paul Tozer said none of the good. I have to tell you, I thought Evil of the Daleks was excellent. Right, that one really conveyed to me the feeling of the episode, and I think Macro Terror and Faithless Ones all of them did very well, right? I think. Oh, and Power of the Daleks. I think all of those ones are worthy. Before that, I would say the only one that's been really good was the Cosgrove Hall one, Invasion, which was great. But like Ice Warriors, they just wasn't that good.
The revised version of Power of the Daleks I thought was excellent and fine-tuned it beautifully. I'll tell you what I don't understand. How we are now about 8, maybe 9 releases into this initiative to animate all these missing stories. Why is it all still so? Why are we sat here asking these questions? Oh, I hope this one's okay. This should be a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, absolutely.
There should be a team in place that, okay, can't exactly. I've worked in this field. I know it's not as simple as banging them out, but if you come up with a consistent product, people will know what they're getting. They will talk it. They will talk it up. They will talk it up, and they will anticipate every new release.
I was going to say, so that's true, right? And they were doing that, but they had 2 crews doing it. They had like the
big mistake. That was their mistake. That was their mistake by doing that. They should have stuck with the one team.
Right. But also, I think in their defense, that this method of recreating a lost episodes has become archaic this year, right? What's going on? The Celestial Toy Maker, right? And I think it's the same guy who did the thing that's coming out from Vault.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, if they would, if they'd have committed though to doing this, they could have kept it. And you're right, it is being overtaken, and yet there's still so many stories yet to animate. But if they'd have committed to one, they could have expanded that one team to make things faster, make things a little simpler.
I guess
people were happy. People were generally very, very happy with the product, with a few of those, just as you've said. And we would have quite happily taken 1 or 2 a year in a modest rollout. And to be honest, even when technology and innovation laps it, we probably wouldn't mind if we had a consistent version of those stories to just simply go back to. And this is why I feel that this is where I feel they've been in error.
Badly managed by BBC.
Yes, simply.
Yeah. So again, I just feel like right now I want them to go back and redo the animations in the newer technology. But we're not going to be far out from AI being able to do it, right? I mean, we're really close to that now.
Within our lifetime, we're going to see these things pretty much recreated by AI as pretty damn close to how they would have originally have been transmitted.
Not within our lifetimes. I think within a year or two. Firstly, okay, nobody has any clue what's coming in 2024 with the presidential election and deepfake technology and like AI technology, right? You're not going to be able to trust anything you see, right? And there's going to be 2 things. There's going to be people. There's going to be stuff comes out, and people that go, "Oh no, that's not true. That's AI," right? And there's going to be just like indistinguishable from reality. And then they'll do things like they'll take something that's, you'll see something 99% real, and they'll change one thing to it. They'll completely change the context, right?
Well, I think that's what we're seeing this week with Mr. Russell Brand. I think there's something about this, and there's something about all of it, and the piece of. I mean, I'm with everything that he's done. That was part of Dispatches, which is up on 4's 4-player now. That everybody who watches sort of streaming, and you can go and watch it there. You don't need a TV license to watch streaming platform TV, so you can go and watch it there. And to me, all of that is absolute nonsense. That 10 years ago would have probably filled a Sunday paper, and people would have laughed about it and forgotten about it 2 days later. Oh, the sex addict behaved ridiculously. Who would have guessed? With it not for that one instance, that one accusation, obviously of a serious crime.
Well, have you heard the follow-up? What's gone down with that?
I haven't heard anything today. If there's been more developments today, but
yesterday, Rumble. Released a letter from the British government demanding
why is a British member of Parliament publicly ask.
And this letter has gone through every social media platform, and it's basically just threatening them, saying, you don't want to get fall out of line with the government.
If that is not an underlining of, I'm not saying you have to like Russell Brand. I'm not even saying that you have to think he's completely innocent. But the idea that he is not being the victim of an orchestrated cabal.
Well, no, we know he is now. Like again, we got we got more evidence, far more evidence of that than we do of him.
He is being persecuted, and would they create evidence or sift or edit or change? Yeah. They absolutely would. And when you think about the only bit of evidence we've got pointing to any guilt on his part is a screenshot of a couple of text messages from 12 or 13 years ago, which are, when you look at it, pretty vague. We see contrition, but we're not. To me, it reads like he's expressing regret for raw dogging this girl rather than for committing anything. And you could view it that way.
It seems to be consensual.
That's how it appears to me.
Right. And I think trying to set up as anything else.
What I'm saying is nothing of this would stick in a court of law. I'd be surprised if they could have arrested him. He would have been arrested on Monday or Tuesday.
I hate to say this. I mean, like all this stuff has made me think that he's much cleaner than he was. So I think the same thing with Donald Trump. Really, if after all this time you've got to make up bullshit to go after him, he must be super clean.
So right? I've gone around the houses on this. On Monday, I thought that Russell Brand was probably as guilty as sin. But the more the story unfolds, and the more you look into it, you think, "Oh, hang on." And the responses of the timing of it points to something. I hate to sound very arch about this because I'm not one that subscribes to conspiracy theories, but it does seem to be.
They're all real. What can you do? They're all real now. I don't know what to tell you. What's stuff?
Exactly. It's not a conspiracy theory if these people are out there in the public domain saying, yes, we are doing this, and that's what I feel is happening.
I mean, again, this letter really. But on the upside, we're getting good Doctor Who out of it. So right here, let me look at this thing with you. This is the opening to Doctor Who and the Daleks. I believe, is it been announced who's narrating it? I think it has been. Hang on, but let's look at this.
I did see it. This looks lovely. Yeah, lovely.
Oh, it looks so good.
I stopped the car at last and let the fog close in around me.
So we're getting another issue of Warp as well this year. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
So again, this guy is the standard. This guy is the standard for these animations. Fantastic work he does, right? So honestly, I now want to go back and do the weak ones. Start with that one in this fashion. However, as we said, they're all going to be. You'll be able to give it. I think, but if the BBC's quick, they can get us to buy it 2 more times, right? Was it you who sent me this? It was you. Let me find this. Your every time you bought the 5 Doctors. This is a brilliant picture.
Yeah.
Hang on, doink. Because me too, right?
And bear in mind that I don't own the Laserdisc or the original BBC release from 1984 or 5 on VHS. So there's still versions that I haven't got.
1 second. Share screen. There we go. So I mean, this is lovely.
Yeah, that's my, in the top left-hand corner, that's my off-air recorded on the night, 25th of November, 1983, on a videotape with my hand-drawn labels there. And it still plays. I've got it behind me on the shelf. Still plays crystal clear.
Wow.
40 years ago.
Wow,
and then there
that's crazy.
The first VHS release.
Was this updated? The unabridged version. So this one didn't have updated effects. This was the first time they updated it with the swirly, the ice cream time scoop.
Yeah, and that came in a double pack with the King's Demons, the one of the orange one, the special edition.
Right. And this wasn't a special edition. This was wait. Was this?
It was exactly the same as that last VHS. So it was the special edition of the Five Doctors onto a DVD, and it was one of the first. I think the BBC, when they went into the DVD market, they put 10 releases out, and the Five Doctors was one of them, along with absolutely fabulous.
But the first one it was like vanilla. Super vanilla, nothing on it at all.
There is absolutely sweet Fanny Adams on there.
So, and then we had you got the American version for something.
I bought the American version for one reason, and at the time I worked with somebody who was importing Region 1 DVDs all the time. So I paid about £18 for that, just so I could hear Peter Davison and Peter Moffat's commentary. That's the only reason I bought it.
Okay. I didn't even know. It must be on the new disc.
It was exclusive. It was exclusive to the American release, but I think it is on the box set, the Blu-ray box set.
Blu-ray. And then we got this one again updated. So you haven't seen it yet. You were saying it's going to take you a couple of weeks for you to get to it, dude. Yeah. What are you doing? Are you curing cancer? Are you getting a hand job from Scarlett Johansson?
Well, there may be. I'm working this weekend, and then I'm going to be making content about various of the bits and bobs. There's a couple of movies I've got to get to. I am thinking about trying to squeeze it in on Sunday or Monday.
It's totally worth it. It makes me, because I've been watching it. It makes me remember why we love this so much, right? And it's yes, it's lots of good bits held together by an okay story with fantastic performances, right? John Pertwee is just totally lights up the screen when he comes on. Patrick Troughton too, but it's weird. It's all written from the perspective that it's past their doctor's regeneration time, including William Hartnell. So we have the second Doctor referencing War Games. In the famous thing with Jamie and Zoe, which was again great, just a great performance. But the reason people are getting this, I think, is the thing we're interested in is the new effects. So they did. This is what they did something with this one. Normally, I expect them to go widescreen, right, and make it more cinematic. This is aggressively 4:3 screen. Very much trying to make it feel like the 1983 original with some updated effects in it. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them are
as if you were watching that on today's kit. This is what the experience you would have had. There's a rejection now. Back 20 years ago, there was an idea that you should make, and you could make, and you should make old television look, as you say, cinematic. Do you remember when they went back to Red?
I like that. I like the enlightenment they did.
I kind of did at the time, but remember when they went back to Red Dwarf and the first few seasons?
Yeah, but now they need to go back to it again.
Yeah.
I actually prefer those versions of the. They do need to go back again and redo the special effects over again on those. Then I think they might get it right. But,
with the Five Doctors, I think that it's such a strong. Not even a strong story, but it's just such a strong entity in its own right, that you can go in and tinker with it and offer different versions of it. And because the original, the beats of it are still unmovable, and we all know them, it survives it somehow in a way that even Star Wars couldn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I agree. Although again, when I'm watching this, I kind of wanted it to be widescreen. And them to do more, for example, I wanted them to make the widescreen and all the Death Zone scenes. They should have done with a orange sky, and they could have had this orange hue, this Blade Runner-y orange hue. I think that would have really enhanced it quite.
Maybe they could have made it similar to how Gallifrey's in the new series, as you say, it's got that golden sky.
And use that as a bridge. But look, the biggest deal is the new time scoop, right? Which is it success? I think it's actually pretty successful here. Let me put. I'll pull up a clip from the time scoop.
There's again. I've read various arguments about this. If you're going to go in and make another special edition, what should you change, if anything? And
well, listen, Simon on your channel was he's like, why not just make it the spinning triangle thing with the things cut off? Yeah. we'll do.
See, I like the choice that they've made here. I like that it's connected to the Rassilon's tower sets. It looks like it belongs of the death zone of that world.
Yeah, actually it does. Yeah, 1 second. But
Simon's argument is a very, very strong one. When you look back at the front cover of the Radio Times, just from 1983, every piece, and to be honest, every piece of fan artwork that you see surrounding the Five Doctors has that Superman 2 style obelisk.
Right. Well, here, there's two things I want to show you. I'm going to show you the time scoop on this, and I'm going to show you the Cunning Monkey one, the fan one, which I think is really better. But like, this is kind of good because the time scoop now like stamps on top of them, and they're kind of reflected inside. Here, there's
Too late.
There you go. See, like
gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
No, it looks beautiful. It does look beautiful. I agree with you. But here, let's find the Cunning Monkey one, which I actually haven't done this comparison.
I don't think I've seen this.
Here, 1 second. I got it over here somewhere. 1 second. Let's go back sometime. Second Doctor Regeneration. No, 5 Doctor respecialized again. Classic Doctor. There you go. That's one. So here, let's compare the two, right? Okay, I kind of like the 3D. Okay, you know what they should have done? Made it to do the two things together. They should have made it a pyramid, like a 3-dimensional pyramid with the corners cut off, with that kind of effect of stamping on top of them. Teddy, John Pertwee is great in this. He really is.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? And he looks like he's having the time of his life as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. But yeah, no, that iconic image, that iconic shape, as they say, they should have just. Yeah, let me see.
But old Bessie.
I mean, I think the new one looks pretty darn gorgeous. The weird laser bolts in the Death Zone, they look better in the new edition, but I think they should have done. I think what it done in the 2007 one, maybe when they crossed over the checkerboard thing, the Cybermen, they had it as like electricity. That I thought was much better. Right, they should, instead of having laser beams, they should have had lightning bolts. Right, these lightning bolts are everywhere. Acting in this as well. He just is fantastic. All right, let's have a look at the what's on these discs. Where is it? There you go. We'll look at the article next. But
look at that.
I mean, they're all good. But yeah, 1 second. So. Yeah, the 40th anniversary edition. Okay, so I guess you get the coming soon with a special edition. So you got an audio commentary of Peter David, Janet Fielding, and Mark Strickson. So this must be a new one. CGI effects, choice of 3 soundtrack mixes. I've only heard the one so far. Messages from Space. I have no idea what that is. Any idea?
Not the faintest idea, no.
Film ranches, Peter David, Sandra Dickerson. At a convention in '83. That'd be interesting. Australian convention and Panopticon, 4 Doctors from '93. I remember that was on the DWB cover. You had a panel with John Pertwee, Peter Davies, and Colin Baker, and Sylvester McCoy. Anyway, so the final disc, though, this is something that the two things that I really want to see. Look Who's Driving. This is a documentary with Peter Davies and Janet Fielding and Sarah Sutton driving around somewhere, right? And I have no idea what, but I really want to see that. And then Let's Go Dutch is them going back to Holland to commemorate the
Arc of Infinity, yeah.
So then you got another audio commentary on the 95 special edition, which is then Peter Davies and Terrence Dicks. Blimey, how many times can he comment on this? So then this is the broadcast version restored into HD. You should put this back to back with your VHS. So the first is with Nicholas Courtney, Carol Ann Ford, Elizabeth Slade, and Mark Strickson. Then you got another one with David Tennant, Phil Connors, and Helen Rayner. I remember that. That's awesome, right?
That's amazing, and that was a swine to find as well. You had to come. It was an Easter egg menu, so if you didn't, you had to find the invisible icon. But it was brilliant commentary.
That was like after his first season or something. I love that.
Yeah,
that was really, really good. Celebration, the making of. I haven't seen. I have to rewatch it, but that was pretty good. I think probably. 5 Doctors, 1 Studio, not so special effects, Ties That Bind Us, Peter Fight, all this other stuff. So you got Behind the Sofa, which I always enjoy. Opening titles, cliffhangers, and closing credits from the 4-part version. I don't really care, but they just put everything into these things. Saturday Superstar excerpts promoting 5 Doctors. Late Breakfast Show. I love that.
See, I don't understand why they actually haven't put the 4-part version in episodic form on these discs. We've got the edited version of Genesis of the Daleks on the season 12 set. I think watching this in 4 parts may suit some people. I'd have loved to have seen that again. So I don't know why they haven't done it. I don't know why that's not.
I hear what they're saying, but I mean they got room on the disc. They could just put it on again.
Plenty of room.
Right. Pebble Mill. BBC Two closed down photo montage. No idea what that is. Children in Need, Wogan. 5th Doctor Wogan broadcast. So, Breakfast Time. Okay, basically all the promotion stuff. And then the PDFs are production paperwork, 2 rehearsal scripts. Yeah, they put everything into these things. Right? Oh, you got the 84 annual. Look at that.
The anniversary special, which I've also bought 3 times. God.
Yeah. Mine was falling apart, so I'm glad to have that on as a. I think I already have that as a PDF. So I would say, look, this set is worth it just for these 3 discs. Right?
Absolutely. Have you, just as an aside, have you bought any of those collections of the Daleks or Sideman comic strips?
No, I was tempted for the Dalek one because they were reprinting a new the backup strip from the first 3 issues of Doctor Who magazine. But it's kind of a shit backup strip, frankly. So I gave it a miss. The Sidemen one, I have all the stories already. I have
this is the thing, because I've got them all. I am so tempted to get them, maybe treat myself to them for Christmas, but there's lots of other books and things coming out.
Let me show you what I'm treating myself to. 1 second. Next, I said this earlier. Next time a client pays me, I think someone's about to pay me soon. This is what I'm going to be getting, right?
Yeah.
100% the fanzine book.
Yeah.
This is going to be such a pleasant stroll down memory lane. Why don't they have some pictures in it?
When I was talking, because I got to meet all these writers at Hooverville, and the way they talk about this stuff is with such passion. So you just know it bleeds through to the books themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go back to this. Let's have a quick look what's on the other day. So I haven't seen Arc of Infinity for quite some time. Once I got it in HD, so they got what's the new stuff they got on there? First, you have Antiman from Amsterdam. I remember that making of being quite good. I don't remember anything about it. I remember it being quite fun. But the new stuff is they also had the optional CGI effects. I remember on the DVD. The Omega Factor, no idea. Under Arclight, Russell Harsh's Christmas Party expert excerpt. So that I got to see. Fine. So,
well, I remember watching a couple of years ago. I watched the Peter Davison era all the way through, and when I got to Arc of Infinity, because that was quite an early DVD release, you noticed that the quality on the original DVD was nowhere near as good. So that's going to look amazing now.
Yeah. Again, all this stuff is due an upgrade.
Yeah.
Behind the Sofa, interesting pairing: Katie Manning and Sophie Aldred, Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy, and then Mark and Janet Fielding, Sarah Sutton, and Peter Davison. I assume the 4 people are together.
Yeah.
Fine. Ron Jones, Saturday Superstore. I listen. None of this stuff is essential to me, but it's always fun to plow through them. By the way, not fun plowing through it. Star Wars. Oh my God, Ahsoka is so bad. Oh
yeah. I'm patting myself on the back for not even starting it, and I wanted to, as I think I said to you last time we spoke about it. I wanted to because I like the actress, like the character, and I kept thinking, well, how bad could it possibly be? But it does seem that it is abysmal. Yeah, so I don't think I've missed out there. I feel the same way about that as I did that last series of Discovery. You know, I've always been a completist, a Star Trek completist, but I went nowhere near that, and it was a good move.
Oh, I always review those. They're so awful. I can't resist.
Right, yeah, I hate to say it, mate, but I've got to shoot off now and get ready.
Oh, one second before you go. Oh, there you go. You've got this ready for you. You're on in just over an hour, right? Undercover. So what are you going to be talking about? You talking about? I talked about that last stream. Shooting in a kilt. Yeah, another costume. This is. I told you I'll be in a skirt at some point. Right?
You did, and this. I can't deny this is a skirt. And when I saw it, when I saw the pictures, I immediately thought of you. Which is yes, we're talking about that. We're picking our way through a few morsels, including the Who Spy stuff that you mentioned earlier on, and various other things that I found out about in the last 48 hours or so, and having a good old chinwag with myself and a couple of the regulars and a couple of guest voices as well. I think they've all been on the show before, but yeah, because I've got Ian is away. Ian's in America at the moment.
He's doing very well in America. He's got his
having a blast.
He's getting some kind of reward. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, he's getting an award for Rebecca Gold too. He's only made the prologue, but that 10-minute prologue.
He hasn't made it, and he's already gotten an award for it. That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's what you call a captive audience, isn't it? So he's out there doing that, and Simon is also. I can't remember what he's doing tonight. Oh, I do. I know what he's doing. Yeah, but he can't make it tonight. So we've drafted in two people who you've seen on the show before. So we're going to have a chinwag with them and see what they make of all of this, see if they feel any differently about all this promo than I do. And of course, we will be ripping the piss out of Ncuti Gatwa and his clothes. So don't miss it.
Yeah, that's got to be done. But I'm telling you, if it's not season 14, he's going to be wearing women's clothing at season 15. And they'll say, what? You wore a kilt last year? What's your problem?
Yeah, they're walking us to it, aren't they?
That's how they always do it. That's how they always do it. God help us.
Drip, 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 drip. So that's from 8 o'clock on the what was the Spacebook channel now, just called Type 40 Doctor Who, because that's what everybody called it anyway. But there will be there's non-Doctor Who stuff coming back to my channel in the next couple of weeks, I'm happy to say. But be there from 8 p.m. with myself and a few pals with fan art, stupid jokes, adverts, all that kind of thing. Come and get involved in the chat, and I'll see you there. Thanks.
By the way, may I make a recommendation for the channel if you want to do non-Doctor Who things?
Yes.
There's this crowdfunding thing that they got a trailer out. Looks great. Eagle has landed. Really, really solid.
Oh.
I think Space 1999 lands nicely on your channel, right? I really do. In fact, you know what? If you commute at all, you should really check out the Big Finish Space 1999. That's worth talking about. Right?
Do you know? I haven't seen Space 1999 since I was about 5 years old. I've got very.
Do a rewatch. Oh my God, that would be awesome. Do a rewatch of Space 1999.
What about if I created? Yeah. So would everybody like it if I looked at Space 1999 for the first time since I was barely out of nappies? Let me know. Maybe get the Rabbi and we could talk about it and rope a few people in episode by episode. That would be a giggle. Okay. Yeah. I didn't even know about this, so I'm gonna jot that down now to go and look for that. And thanks for the suggestion, mate. Thanks for the suggestion.
Very good.
I'll see some of you later, I hope. And thanks as always, mate. Enjoy the rest of your stream.
All right, a little bit.
Bye-bye. Oh, where's my button? There it is.
Oh, where's my button? But I can't tell you how many times I've said that, and then I've been arrested shortly thereafter. Fine. Let's keep going over season 20. Right? And I'll do the intro thing. So disc 2. What they got on this? So the Snake Charmer, again, I love Snake Dance and Kinder. Kinder I like slightly more. It's so much better with the new effects, right? It's so much freaking better with the new effects. Can't get enough of them. But I love Snake Dance. It's a really intricate, clever show about how history happens, right? How tradition happens, and how facts become myth, become legend. Fantastic. So they got a Chris Bailey interview. It used to be a DVD Easter egg. That was a bugger to find as well. New thing is Behind the Sofa. I love Behind the Sofa. When Janet met Martin, Janet Fielding interviewing Martin Clunes. I want to see that. And they got new optional CGI effects for episode 4. Thank God. Right? I just think it makes it better. They're distracting that they're that bad. The passenger, fuck off. Passenger making a feature. Like, it's an ad, for God's sake. It's an ad, Pete McTeague. That's all it is. Sarah and Matthew Waterhouse 50th anniversary celebrations and November 2013. Okay. Trails of Continuity, revised, updated subtitles. PDF, photo gallery, never really saw the point of that. Production paperwork as a PDF, rehearsal scripts, recording schedule, radio times cuttings. And then on the argument, you got the costumes. The costumes would be interesting. What am I saying those? Recording schedule, yeah, whatever. People like this stuff, not really for me. Mordred Undead. Oh, yeah, just so good. Oh, so good. And the new version of the effects, just so much better. Again, it's really, really worth the new effects. So you got who's Mark Strickland, Peter Davies, and Eric Saywood. Interesting. Okay, that's it. I'm surprised he still shows his face. Probably can't show his face, Colin Baker. Who Wants to Live Forever? The Macon documentary. Yes, I remember that was a good one as well. New CGI effects, fantastic. Optional isolated score if you want, I guess. Liberty Hall. Don't know what that is. Finding Mark. Oh, I got my book over here. So have a look. What is Liberty Hall? Hang on. So it's Mordred Undead. I have to look here. I'm looking in this book here. The classic Doctor Who DVD companion. Compendium or companion? Hang on. So I go through the M's. Mordred movie special edition. No, back, Sutek, back. Mask of Madragona. Oh, no. After Master Madragona. Mordred Undead. Is there a special edition Mordred? Fine. Let's see what this is. Liberty Hall. Let's try and find out what this is. Who Wants to Live Forever? Liberty Hall. A fictionalized interview with retired Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart about his life after unit with Nicholas Coulton and Silent Oakland. Written by Karen Davis. Directed by Bernard Shepard. Well, that sounds weird. Okay. Who's in the documentary? Lucy Benjamin, David Collins, Nicholas Courtney, Peter Davison, Mark Strickson, Eric Saywood. They returned to Trent Park in North London. I remember that. TV Davis troughing through that. They recall the making of the series, including the origin of the idea and the script introducing Turlough, bringing back the Brigadier. It was really supposed to be in Chesterton. Who wrote the 5? What was the Robert Holmes take on the anniversary special? Robert Holmes 20th anniversary. What was his script? Doctor Who. But it didn't sound very good, like the 6 Doctors or something. Yeah, the 6 Doctors. Do we know anything about that? Let me look that up. Yellow Fever, the 6 Doctors. That's, I think, the one where we had the Cyberlords, right, for the first time. Yeah, it didn't sound very good. I have to tell you, the Terror 6 one, pretty darn good. Anyway, fine. Where are we up to? Finding Mark Strickson, a DVD Easter egg. TARDIS information system, also VT countdown. By the way, let me pull this up again. One of the other things they do in the 5 Doctors special edition. Where is it? Is they redo the graphic displays on the TARDIS. And they do a really good job. Man, it's so much better. 1 second. There you go. Right, look at that. Yeah, we'll see it in action. Hang on. Yeah, it's funny when they first introduce it with great balls of fire. Yeah, okay. The third Doctor is just a relentless dick in this, but I loved how they used the seal of Rassilon in the last Matt Smith story. I thought that was brilliant. There you go. Hang on. Let me see.
Now, as far as I can make out, there are 3 entrances. One above, one below, and the main door here.
Yeah, so the original one was done by, BBC Computer. And it looked like it. BBC Computer, they were great in the day. Once Upon a Time, Lord, contemporary US documentary, Behind the Sofa, Points of View, broadcast, Sarah Sutton and Mark Strickson at MonsterCon in '86. Trails of Continuity, revised and updated production, subtitles and photo gallery. What was it? Mordred Undead. Awesome. Production paperwork, rehearsal scripts, recording schedule. Yeah, whatever. Costume design, Radio Times clippings. Okay, Terminus. Now, Terminus gets a lot of hate. It's a Stephen Gallagher script, so it's a bit weird. And it's realized very, very, very badly. But man, I like a bit of Terminus, right? So the making of audio commentary with Peter Davies and Mark Strickson, Sarah Sand, and Stephen Gallagher. Oh, I would like to listen to that. Right? Optional CGI effects. Again, totally worth it. For me, it works. I like it a lot. Finding Sarah Sutton. I guess it's about Finding Sarah Sutton. Origins of the Universe. Yeah, I think that was more of a factual documentary. So here on Disc 4, again, these interviews are fantastic with Matthew Sweet. Sarah Sutton and Janet Fielding talk to Matthew Sweet in conversation. Sarah Sutton and Janet Fielding. Yeah, they're fantastic. Radio WN interview with Sarah Sutton from '84. Well, that's a bit. I doubt I'm going to listen to that. Revised and updated production, subtitles, Trails of Continuity, photo gallery. So you get the script, Stephen Gallagher's notes on Terminus. I might be interested in that. That sounds pretty good. Studio 4 plans. I guess people find these interesting. Not me though. The costumes, etc. Fine. So you got Enlightenment. Man, they got a lot on King's Demons. Sorting out. So Disc 5's Enlightenment. So you get the original version, plus I think you get the 2009 edition, which I liked, right? The updated version. Now, so a lot of people say that it was too updated. They might have a fair point, right? I don't know. I have to watch both versions and decide which one I prefer. So who's on the audio comedy? You got Peter Davison, Mark Strickson, Barbara Clegg, and Fiona Cumming. Wow, that's I think she's the only female director, isn't she, from the classic era, I believe. Winner Takes All document. Look, I like it. Awesome. Firstly, you've got Tegan and a heaving cleavage, looking damn freaking tastic. Single white female. What's that? That's got to be about Tegan. Yeah, one second. Well, I'm looking up in my big book. Okay, I'm looking it up. Enlightenment. Where are we up to? Before Evil of the Daleks. Enemy Enlightenment. What's single white female? Winner Takes All. 23-minute casting off. The cast of Enlightenment talk about the characters and approaches to the acting with Keith Barron. That's mostly Brian Salas originally. Christopher Brown, Peter Davison, Janet Fielding, Lee John, Mark Strickson, and Fiona Cumming. Single white female. Barbara Clegg talks about her life and career, starting out as an actor and before becoming a writer for radio and television, including Mrs. Dale's Diary, Coronation Street, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's 5 minutes, right? Story of the Guardians. That's 11 minutes. Profile of the 2 actors who played the White and Black Guardians. That's interesting. Storyboards 5. So what's new on this? So you got... so now you got new optional special effects, right? Again, they've done new effects, really, for that? I guess they incorporated the new effects from the special edition into the episodic version. I guess, but it's so very different. Janet's boob tube, a previous DVD Easter egg. Oh, fantastic story. That is a fantastic story of how Peter Davison got Janet Fielding to flash half the production crew in Television Center. It's a wonderful story. So new visual effects, film trends, breakfast time interview with Peter Davison, Patrick Troughton, broadcast on 1st of March 83. Extended from the DVD edit, revised and updated production, okay, and all the same PDF stuff. Then we got the King's Demons, the much underrated King Demons. So you got audio commentary with Tony Virgo on part 1 only, and then Peter Davison, Isla Blair, and Eric Saywood. Chameleon, the Metal Man, Magna Carta, that's like a historical thing. 1 o'clock news report, the departure of Peter Davison. Wow, he reported it there. Nationwide expert with Peter Davison, John Pertwee, Patrick Troughton. 9 o'clock news report Peter Davison's departure. Southeast at 6. So what's new? Back to Bedlam, a making of. Okay. Panels from the 83 Longley event with Caroline Ford, Nicholas Courtney, Heather Hartnell, and Hop. I mean, this is fantastic. That sounds really cool. Doctor Who celebrating 20 years of a Time Lord. Man, this is all new stuff. This is really fantastic. Points of view broadcast from 25th of March, Saturday Superstore with Davison, Mark Strickson, Janet Fielding. Radio interview, nationwide. Okay, these are just like bits and bobs, right? Like, this is like my disc of rose. I got it filled up with all the promotion stuff going. John Craven's news round. Report on Peter Davison's departure. Well, I don't think any Doctor Who fan will be complete without that. Breakfast Time expert with Colin Baker. Colin Baker's casting as a Doctor. Charles Continuity. Flashing paper, 2 rehearsal scripts. Studio floor plans. Design drawings. Doctor Who Longley. Doctor Who Celebration at Longley. That must be the program. Radio Science. For fine, let's see. Read what they have to say about it. I started watching Doctor Who at around the start of Peter Davison's time, remembers Russell Minton. that's where it was really in my form, my consciousness. The first videos I made were of Resurrection of the Daleks, man. I guess because that's when video technology was coming around. So if I'm going to get a pigeonhole, this was my era. This was, and so was Colin Baker, and so was Sylvester McCoy. Executive producer Russell is not, they're not so even genius overseeing the Doctor Who Blu-ray release, is doing a great job. But for the forthcoming 20th box set, he's behind the camera too, as director of 2 new features. The Look Who's Driving, this sounds great. You got Peter Davison, Sarah Sutton, and Janet Fielding travel across Europe to attend the German convention. They should release that as a standalone. That sounds incredible. The road trip wasn't my idea. It was Janet's, explains Russell. She said, me and Sarah are driving to Germany and Peter has muscled in. Would you like to film it? Oh, Janet, you're a genius, darling. Right? That genius idea. Oh, man, absolutely. Then Janet wanted to read a poem in the... but we ended up... Okay, would you like to film it? I didn't know what we'll get, but we ended up in a chocolate baking in Ghent. Then Janet wanted to read a poem in a forest, which was a bit random. Second is Let's Go Dutch, in which the trio is joined by fellow 83 regular Mark Strickson as they revisit Amsterdam locations for Arc of Infinity. Did they bring their own Rice Krispies with them so they can reenact Omega? Admired as they tracked down the original steam organ and once lovingly admired by the story's renegade Lord Omega. Okay, I don't remember any of this at all. It's owned by the same family business, although it's back in its original location, grins Russell. Hilariously, Mark now plays a little boy. Mark now plays the little boy from the scene. But what we hadn't realized was that the Pride Festival was coming through Amsterdam at the same time. You know why you hadn't realised it? Because Pride Festivals are always going through fucking everywhere at every fucking point in space and time. It's like, you know, we crossed the dimension and now we're suddenly going into warp speed, and that means we have Pride fucking everywhere. The expansive box set contains a host of I had to politely ask them to stop banging their hammers for about 10 minutes. Ban it. You had to ask them to stop banging other things too, I think. That expansive box set contains a host of exclusive features, including Back to Bodium, a new look at the making of the King Stephen, the season closer. It wasn't really a season closer. Meanwhile, when Martin met Janet, that sounds awesome. Filmmaker Steve Bronson reunites Janet Film with Snake Dance co-star Martin Clunes, who's always been like, they pull out that clip of him look like a twat every time. I think it's a great story. Reminisce about their mutual possession of the evil Mara. Martin, who's very fond of his time on Doctor Who, says Steve. I asked him on the phone if he remembered Janet. He said, "Remember her, Steve? I had a massive crush on her." Well, look again. Look at Enlightenment. What a wonderful heaving pair of bazooms that she has. Had a massive crush on her. Apparently, just before rehearsals of Snake Dance in '82, Janet had come across a 1950 biography, Alec Clunes, Martin's father, in a second-hand bookshop. Alec was a well-known Shakespearean actor. She had the book at rehearsal and said, "Are you Alec Clunes' son?" To which Martin Clunes went, "Oh my God, yes." So we were just preparing for the feature. I asked Janet if she still had the book. She did. She brought it along. Season 20 is, of course, marked by Doctor Who's 20th anniversary, and the box set includes a new optional version of 83 feature-length 5 Doctors with over 100 new digital effects, which it shows. But again, I kind of want to like an Orange Gallifreyan Sky by the other Neil Bushnell. I tried to keep within the spirit of what was intended at the time. Yes, he did. Yeah, that's very true, right? That's very true. Whereas the other special editions haven't. So the time scoop is still an obelisk, but now it's a bit more depth. It was a pyramid, not an obelisk, a pyramid. Here, 1 second. Andrew Skeletor, 5 Doctors. Images. Right. I mean, dude, this is just like freaking iconic. Right? It's if you just made it that shape. Right? Hang on a second. Open image in the tab. There you go. If you just made it that shape, right? But you made it like, I don't know, like a chess piece. I don't know. Look, generally speaking, this well done to. So yeah, very much in space inside. The Eye of Harmony and Tomb of Rathlon have digital extensions. Yeah, they look freaking awesome for it. Absolutely. Get your screen grab. Look at me being to get here. Now it's just thinking about it. Really? But yeah, the Rathlon tomb is particularly good.
Rules, as I remember.
Before that, stop him! Here we go. 1 second. There it is. Yeah, so I think that really works, frankly. I think it gives a lot more gravitas, right, to Rathlon's tomb. And it's very in keeping of the time, right? So that all works. Eye of Harmony and Tomb Rathlon have digital effects. And the third Doctor's Zaggy zip wire is now completely taut. Oh, I didn't even notice. There's also in HD you see Elizabeth say them pick her knickers out of her crack. You know what? I think it's just for completion that we hang on. That we find that. Oh no, it's after Rassilon Warrior Robot. The Black Scrolls of Rassilon. I found all the Gallifrey bit a bit, uninspired. Oh god, that's so good. The Rassilon War. Oh wait, here we go. It was just before this.
Thank you.
Hang on. What was it after? That was before this. I can't believe I'm looking for a shot of Liz Salem picking her knickers out of her butt crack. But you know what? This is the only channel you would find that kind of dedication on. It was maybe it's hang on. Is it here? No, I can't find it. Maybe it's before. Oh, wait. It's when they first see the Cybermen. Now, did they redo the tower? Because I remember it being good in the original. Hang on, but it could be redone. Hang on. We're nearly there. Oh, here it is.
Power.
We are?
Then why this way?
Because
there you go. Fish it out your butt crack, darling. Richard Handel very much likes pineapple.
Thought we were going to the tower.
We are?
Then why this way?
Because the man...
I mean, very clearly she's fishing her knickers out of a butt crack. Good for you, Liz. Good for you. Neil's remake extended to a bit of pest control, spruced up for the DVD. It became obvious that the outdoor scenes with the second Doctor and the Brigadier have been played by an unwelcome swarm of flies. Once you start to see them, you can't unsee it. I never really noticed them. So as well as turning up John Pertwee, while we also swatted Patrick Troughton's flies. What a claim to fame. I hope you're not talking code, darling. Meanwhile, Russell Minton describes the unsung hero of the Blu-ray range. I think we're just singing him right now. Is the historian Richard Bignell. As part of the most feature-packed box that Richard has unearthed, a staggering pile of... Yes, we've gone through all the PDF stuff. Okay, fine. It's nice to discover that the actors who looked at the series... it's nice to discover that some of the actors who were looked at for season 20, Patrick Stewart and Edward Woodward, were both considered to play Castellan in Arc of Infinity. Both of them would have been much better. Then in Snake Dance production file, we learned that Ambrill's room was adapted from the set of Song for Europe. Really? And for Terminus, Steve Gallagher has given us his handwritten notepads filled with his working ideas, about 120 pages worth. Sorting out. In addition, Richard confirms his hero assessment, revealing he's the man who's tracked down the location that was allegedly Arc of Infinity steam organ. The paperwork revealed that it came from a company called G. Purley. I don't remember the steam organ. A quick look at Google reveals they still have the steam organ available. Russell had been looking for hire somebody something similar. What you ever say? You could have the real one if you want. So again, look, this set, like these sets are always freaking worth it. They're fantastic, right? Absolutely fantastic. And look, comparing it to the boring shit we got going on right now. I mean, like Subwave Network goes, I don't give a shit. Oh, just show me something or don't. Yeah, look, another picture. Who Spy? Like, this is just really dull, right? I mean, it is. It's just really dull. Can we get a better? Yeah, close. There we go. Better image of it. Wanted 3050 needed. I don't know. Henrik, so that makes a return. But again, it's time to actually tell us something and stop teasing that you're going to tell us something. Ramadan propped up an episode of Step Turn Son. It was great. Probably couldn't repeat the episode now. Yeah, that's all wrong, mate. Okay, all this stuff should be eminently repeatable. There you go. Fine. Okay, so I'm not doing Ahsoka tonight, apparently. Right? We will get to Ahsoka and the crime against humanity and crime against Star Wars that was on Saturday's show. We'll also be going over the new Doctor Who trailer, assuming that it comes out. I haven't even looked at Bounding in Comics. Let's have a quick look at see what stories are going around. Wrong thing. Cancel. Share screen. So a quick look at Bounding into Comics. If I can find it. Yeah, doink. Okay. Pacific Rim director, which I love. Freaking love Pacific Rim. I hate the sound of the Shape of Water. Guillermo del Toro confirms Lucasfilm passed on him directing a David Goyer written Star Wars film. I'd love to know a bit more about that. Rumor, people walked out at Aquaman Lost Kingdom test screenings because Black Manta slays the hero's baby son. Really? Better Call Saul star Bob Odenkirk admits from suffering a heart attack after ignoring advice from doctor because of his political leanings. Conservative Jack ARSE was right. Okay, weirdo. Report. Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger wants to quit the noise regarding culture war. Well, maybe strip all your perversion out of all your everything aimed at kids. Maybe strip all your agenda out of Star Wars. Maybe stop with the false as fucking female nonsense. Because they are not healthy for Disney's business. Oh, you just noticed? You didn't listen, 5-10 years ago when we told you dumb cunt. Remember when we screamed at you that your moronic Star Wars hotel was going to fail horribly? Maybe you should have listened to somebody like us. God. Thor: Love and Thunder director Taika Waititi pushes back against the film's critic. If you want it to be exactly like the comic, read the comic. Well, they made Marvel movies exactly like the comic at the beginning. Do you remember when they were good and they were popular? Exactly. Ray Stevens' Baby Skull is the only interesting character in Ahsoka. I agree with you. Episode 6, despite Thrawn and Ezra Bridger returning. Don't know who they are, don't care. Lex Luthor rumored running for President. James Gunn's Superman legacy. Please don't do it as Trump. I mean, everything he's done has been good so far, in all fairness. After Vanity claimed that Marvel's clocked in with $130 billion budget, Forbes now shares the movie's budget is enormous, $274 million, which they're not going to make back. That's crazy. Director Nia DaCosta implies she's done with Marvel films after Marvel's, done, as in they fired her because she's shit. New Star Wars room explains how the Force will be changed through the witches of Dathomir to make the Force female. I bet you're right? Introducing Ahsoka, I bet that's going to happen. Right? I mean, that was certainly fitting to everything. Fine, so we'll go with this and much more on Saturday night. Join me there. I guess it's going to be at 7 p.m. UK time. So join me Saturday night, and we will go over many, many terrible things. Fine, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you for joining me tonight. Head on over to Dan in 40 minutes. There will be fun and products for all involved, I'm sure. I'm going to hit the end broadcast.